Hey, Maze. Oof, 19 hours, dude. That's a long one. Yo, Maze, check this out. Did you know that this armor was in the game in Classic? That you can blacksmith this? It is 1 AC better in every single slot than Banded, and 1/2 pound lighter in each slot as well. Dude, I really dislike New Freeport. It's such a pain to find things. Agreed. Everything is so big, man. Look how big this is. Like, the Academy of Arcane Sciences dominates the skyline, but no one looks that high up in the game. So you just see this big featureless rock, and you're like, oh, what is this? I need a kiln. Yeah, if I could only change one thing, one small thing, it would be to return the zone files of the revamped zones. And if I could only pick one, it would definitely be Freeport. Like, most of the other revamps are pretty tolerable because they retain the same, like, layout and geometry of their forebears. But Freeport being, like, totally redesigned is just pretty rough. I wonder if I would hate it still if I had never experienced original Freeport and this was just like what my nostalgia was for this one. By putting in a zone file with the same name that's actually the old zone file. I just figured you'd crash when you tried to zone, if you did it. So yeah, I've been taking, this note actually explains it better. I've been taking all my fine steel weapons that I find. I break them down by combining them with water in a forge, and it gives me a small brick of high quality ore, sometimes some other bricks too. Then I can combine 3 small bricks into a large brick, which I can combine with a file to make high quality ore. 1 high quality ore makes 2 high quality rings, which is basically a free combine on ornate chain. All you have to buy is a pattern at that point. Lil Den, yeah, this is a new server. It's about 2 weeks old. Maybe 3 weeks at this point. It's the Aerodune server. It came out, yeah, not very long ago. It's a 3-month unlock progression server. Pretty standard TLP. Super high, like incredibly high. There's usually, like during prime time, there's like between 1 and 4 hours of queue just to log in. I think the peak concurrent player count that I saw online ever was 4,500, and it would have been higher, but that was simply the server population cap. So we're going to give Estiana Nestra here, the cleric guildmaster of the Knights of Truth, this note from Walton Graff, the leader of the Knights of Thunder. Let it be known that the Shrine of Bertoxilus has discovered our agent, which infiltrated their ranks. He's talking about Drosco, the zombie we find in the sewers. It is now my belief that they will soon send word to Freeport and put your agent in jeopardy. Beware, Renig Lusarin, High Priest of Thunder of Kanos. So what level are you now, Mace? There's also a golden ornate chain that we can make. I'm not sure that it's actually in Classic. If they let you make it, it's 1 AC over this, so it's actually really close to Fine Plate, or at least Bronze. And it has plus Charisma on it. But you have to use gold bars for every combine. Better get that coffee, Zwimpy. was Wimpy Ice, so I changed the subscriber badges. Check yours out. Let me know what you think. If you like it better than the old one. Thank you, thank you. We've pulled in some pretty decent gear upgrades. One of the goblins in High Keep dropped the bronze helmet, which is very nice because I can turn on my helmet models. We went to Ocean of Tears and farmed that gnome. He was actually like blue and light blue to me, depending on his spawn level. And after 3 kills, he dropped the 5 strength bracer, so that was nice. And then we replaced most of our visible slots with ornate chain by breaking down fine steel weapons and stuff. Oof, man, 9 is crazy. Oh, 6, okay. Still pretty good. Where were you leveling up? Okay. So what level did you wrap up at? Yeah, we got the bronze bucket, Riker. Oh wow, so you really pulled an all-nighter. That's like the old school all-nighter. Play all night, then you have to go to school. Sounds like a lot of fun though. Ricker, I don't know if you were here when I was talking about it just a second ago, but we got the bracers as well, and we forged some ornate chain. $5 AM still a little dangerous in this zone because it's technically wrapping up nighttime. They don't all despawn until like halfway through 6 AM. No, unfortunately I was an idiot and I was stockpiling the ruined pelts, and I realize now that I need the low quality ones. So I'm thinking of the slots that I actually want to go find steel with, or find plate, and I think just the boots, the legs, the arms, 1 bracer, and the head. Because like these are going to become the gem inlaid gauntlets. I'm not dropping 5 strength. And my BP also has 5 strength, 5 stamina on it. Then I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna lose like one of my big stat items: shoulders, cloak, belt, neck. So I really only need to successfully do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 combinations. I wonder what the best zone to farm the low quality pelts is. Probably like Misty Thicket, just cruising through the low level bears and stuff. Nah, Maze, I can't. I can't trade with anybody, so I can't get enchanted bars, unfortunately. Yeah, it sucks, dude. I can't even do the Armor of Roe quest line because it requires enchanted platinum bars, and I could buy the bars, I just can't enchant them. There used to be a fire beetle eye from like the queens and stuff that would let you enchant silver, but they removed the item, so you can no longer use the enchant silver buff off of it. Oof. What level's the monk now? Yeah, I think Misty Thicket just because like it's a little bit more condensed. They're all close to each other. Nice. Almost all the way there, man. Alright, 6 AM. We should be pretty safe. I'm pretty sure I could take a skinning knife and reduce any hide basically to a low quality hide too. Oh, he despawned, perfect. Oh, that sucks, man. Monk honestly feels so much more invincible once you get a Stonewall. There's always just that little element of fear when you're playing a monk and you have to like time the spell casts from mobs, especially if you have like multiple caster mobs in one pull and they like to just like spam those long duration spells. The worst one is like Plane of Hate. They cast the NPC only spell, Elnric's Entombment of Ice. It's like an 8-second cast. And you see one cast it and you're like, I cannot feign death for the next like 10 seconds. You'll get in a cycle where multiple are casting at the same time. You're just like, okay, I guess I'm gonna die here. Yeah, it'll be sick when I can do this quest. I think the Minotaur hero is like level 35. Hey, Keebs, morning, morning. Yeah, we're trying not to, dude. Yeah, especially because like Hate's an outdoor zone, you know what I mean? It just makes it a pain. But, you know, it is the domain of an evil deity, so I suppose it's not supposed to be easy. Dude, my stats are getting pretty good here. Just like self buffs and everything. 123 strength, 116 stamina, 970 HP, 188 AC. Oh yeah, you're just like, well, I wonder if I'm gonna die here or not. So I've been debating on whether or not I want to try to get the Blackened Iron Coif. It's lower AC than what I have. Oh, that's not cool. Okay, he's level 12, whatever. I feel like I've never seen this mob before. Oh yeah, I want to see if I'm like debating on getting a Blackened Iron Coif. It's gonna be, I think, like 6 AC less than a Fine Plate helmet, but it's got 5 strength and 5 to all resists. My faction with the Wolves of the North has gotten better. Yeah, so the one on the left, the reason one is green is just because it's buffed with my Holy Armor self buff. But the one on the left is my mitigation AC. The one on the right is my avoidance AC. I want to say, I'm not positive. Yeah, there. So that's my evasion, chance to avoid melee damage. And left is my mitigation, chance to take less melee damage when I'm hit. I haven't really done anything towards increasing my evasion AC. It's generally not seen as super valuable for my class. So I guess it just scales higher by default. My agility is only 78. I wonder what item here is giving me bonus agility. There we go. It's the gorilla hide mask. Oh, another big one to show you guys. As I was running through High Pass to go do some blacksmithing and stuff in Freeport, I managed to find the good old named Orc up and get myself a shiny brass idol. So now we have one literal get out of jail free card. One charge of Divine Aura. Yeah, it feels good walking around with that in my bags. Yeah, I figured it would be like a terrible camp here, like it would just be a pain to farm one. I guess I got lucky, or maybe he's pretty common here, I'm not sure. I've never really done the orc side of High Pass. If I wasn't able to do the deep water harpoon, I probably would have done orcs to get a shiny brass halberd at some point. The same two necromancers that are always farming the guards 24/7 are still here, I assume. Oh, maybe it's someone different. Right? Yeah, I'm sure there's not a piece of fine steel on any of them. It's pretty packed over here. Rip. Only one instance available. It's all camped up. Hey Leok, it's going pretty good, man. As you can see, we got that nice bronze helmet. I tried looking them up on Alla. It doesn't really show any of the bronze dropping off of the goblins, but they dropped this helmet for me. And I noticed on some of the vendors here, there was like 20 more bronze helmets. So maybe they literally only drop the helmet. I was kind of hoping as I was killing them that I would get more and more, but I didn't. Right, yeah, you put the charge item like in your bag and you're like, I'll use this when I need to, and then you never ever use it. That's how I am with like every video game. I forgot that she summons. Yeah, Murph Perf Nerf, this is a full solo hardcore run, no trading allowed. So Leok, last night we also ran to Ocean of Tears and camped the Bracers of Verolacy. It took me about 35 minutes to bag this item. Yeah, we went hard on purpose. We want that good challenge. And then we crafted some new armor, Ornate Chain, just in a few of these slots. Nah, Maze, I probably won't do any raiding. What about you? You planning to join one of the big guilds eventually? What a pain. See if she'll run or if I'm too low. Perfect. Oh, nice. Yeah, so you'll be doing lots of raiding then. Very glad that guards do not assist her. I need to wait 17 seconds. I think the pick threshold here is like pretty low. If it's not 15, it's like 18. Still nothing. I think Lisa Goldtune might be like a 6-minute spawn. Like I could probably just sit here and farm her over and over and over again. I'm not killing the guards. I want to keep the guard faction because I want to be able to use the guards to help me with goblins. But right now goblins are camped, so I'm farming Lisa Goldtune, the bard there. It would take me 80 kills to go to apprehensive, I think, with Knights of Truth, so I don't have to worry about that. I'm max ally with Kanos guards, so I could basically kill her forever with no consequence there. The only one that I'm really going to be in trouble with is League of Antonica bards. I don't know if there are any big bard NPCs I need to actually worry about. No, I don't think you can. That was the guard that you used to just static farm, right? I think they ended that. Liak, no, I'm level 25 right now. 27 is just my goal because that's when I get the new heal. Yeah, Maze, they disabled that. Yeah, it was nice. He drops a two-hander and a shield, or just a longsword and a shield every single time. Like every kill's like 30 plat. Nice, yeah. I'm kind of tempted to farm Guard Blail. I'm high kindly with these guards, so I could probably kill a lot before I go KOS. Right? Yeah, they're gonna kick me out of the guild, dude. Well, I did 1,000 kills farming gnolls to get my my PGT and my cracked Darkwood shield. I went from like 18 to 23, basically just in high pass. Well, dude, you get that sunk cost, you know what I mean? At first I was like, okay, this will be a pretty short camp, Probably. I'll get some levels, no big deal. But it wasn't short. Actually, it wasn't short at all. It took like 20 hours. 176. That's how many spawns I went through for the named spawn point on a 7-minute and 30-second timer. The 176th one spawned and dropped the shield I wanted. Yeah, we're doing those high keep guards. They're gonna kick me out of the guild in a second. It'd be nice to have snare so that I could fight this guy. He would run, but very slowly, not get help, and he would not fight me back. That Shadow Knight life. Dude, right? What kind of world would it be, Keebs? Like every other kill in chat, I was like, alright, I'm gonna do 2 more kills and then I'm done. So like normally the camp is plagued by high level people who are like farming it for their alts and stuff. But this was like one of the days where the server was really terrible. Aw, 25. That's a big hit. So anyway, no one could like zone without crashing, so I just had high pass all to myself all day. So I can only kill like 23 guards before I go to 0 faction. But Dubious goes all the way to 150 and then some, I guess. Okay, negative 500 is the end of Dubious. Dang, dude, that's insane. I thought FBSS was super rare on P99. So this guy is selling Goldbane loot rights. I wonder if this is a guy who's just camping it for the plat, or like, you know, for selling the loot rights, or if there's like an EXP group there and they're trying to make some money. That's insane, dude. I've actually never heard of someone that lucky on Frenzy. I still remember my very first FBSS camp. It was 22 hours long. That was the first time in EQ that a camp really like kicked my butt. You know, I'd had like 4 5-hour camps and I was like, man, 5 hours, that's a really rough camp. Then I did the FBSS. It's a whole different ball game. Hey, the Warm Batman, thank you for the follow. Oh, the Wom Batman. The Wombat. It's going pretty good, dude. How's yours? I guess Lisa Goldtune is not a 6-minute timer. We could do that wood elf bard in Paladin. Yeah, but guard Blail, and there's one on the second floor that's just like that. I'm not really aiming to farm guards per se. Nice, Dark Elf Necro. I went Erudite Necro on P99, but it was a ton of fun. Such a powerful class there. Oh, you know what? These guys all drop Stealth Badge, I'll take that. I probably disarmed him, right? This is actually really good. I can use these fine steel. Like here, this note right here. The fine steel plus water makes a small brick. 3 small bricks make a large brick. Large brick lets me craft ornate chain, which is good to skill up my smithing. And if I'm farming fine steel regularly, which guards drop, it's basically free. Hey, what's up, robot? So, Sean, I talked to some of my friends here about the static group that we're planning. And one of them can definitely not do Friday, so we're definitely going to have to start on the 4th of July proper. So it's kind of just like whichever time is best for you. Yeah, this is the other really fast respawn guard, Choppin'. Hey, Owen. Looks like people are waking up this morning, jumping in chat. Glad to have you guys here with us. All right, sounds good. Did not know that Guard Vicar was right up that walkway there. Hopefully he's pathing back into the castle, not outside. Okay. So we'll probably just aim for pretty early Saturday morning. That way we really get into it. We don't have to worry about any kind of queue or anything logging in. I don't know where you fall on like plus or minus on East. Oh man, I didn't put buffs on. I'm terrible. Yeah, Maze. So we're gonna, on the 4th of July, we're gonna stream a marathon 1 through 50. Minus 6 East, okay. You know, one of the things that motivated me to do it, it was actually one of my friends who was like, hey, we should do this. But he ended up not having the time to do it, so he conned me into doing it. But every time you level 1 through 50 really fast and it ends up on the forum somewhere like, hey, someone's already level 50. Everyone's like, yeah, dude, they cheated. They probably like farmed some instant spawn static point for 20 hours and that's how they did it. So it'll be good to just have a really fast 1 through 50 completely on video somewhere. Need to get new music flowing in a sec. That's bad. It's not super bad though. Oh, this guy is kill stealing this guard from me. I suppose I don't really mind. Is this lore? Yeah, never. Oh, he's giving it to me. Thanks, monk. All right, Lisa's back up. Yeah, it's going to be slower, that's for sure, just because of all the contested camps. Nah, Keeps, I think you could still beat it, because our class composition wasn't perfectly optimal, and, like, our leveling route wasn't 100% optimized, because we had that issue. Basically, like, at 31, we wanted to go to lower Guck and double charm with our Necromancer, but as soon as we zoned out into Lava Storm, our Necromancer crashed, and then got stuck in the queue. So we just went to Soul B instead. I think it would have been more optimal a few hours faster if none of our party members crashed, because there was a point where there was actually only 3 of us. But it would have been more optimal if from 31 to 41 we double charmed Dead Side and then went back to Soul B. Right, exactly that. I think without exploiting, you could do a clean 35 hours. You could also exploit, get a dirty 35 hours and be suboptimal, or you could play perfect and exploit and get a clean 30 hours. There's actually a pretty powerful EXP exploit that we didn't make use of. Hey, Wombat Man, there is the Zem list right there if you'd like to check it out. Right. Oh yeah, we used 25% pots the whole time. Oh yeah, I forgot that they nerfed DZ EXP. It's like actually terrible now. Yeah, Raid EXP would be awful too. Yeah, the EXP exploit will almost certainly get you caught and will result in at least a suspension. And if we're talking about like strict math here, depending on what you're able to do with it, you would get between a 10 and a 50% raw EXP bonus from the exploit. Nah, Liak. Because of so we actually tested it, right? Like we weren't sure, so we compared the timers. Being able to double charm gives you such a huge DPS bonus, and if you're sitting in safe hall in lower Guck at that time with 2 charm pets, you have access to about 80 mobs, so you never run out of mobs, and you're just mowing through them. Oh, staying in Soul A. Yeah, I don't know if we'll go to Guck at all on this second run. Now, we would still want to go to Soul B around like 32-ish. Basically, the gnomes range from 28 to 34, I think. And once you get to the ratio where like there's too many blues, you want to bail out. Dude, every day on this Paladin, I'm so tempted to buy a pot. Like, it doesn't really change anything. It just makes the grind a little faster. But then, if you make it all the way to 50, right? You're always going to have that asterisk next to your name. You know, normally it doesn't matter, but for SSF. The run speed potion is huge. Oh man, it's like, if I actually had to choose between EXP potions and run speed potions, I'd probably take run speed potions. Just feels better playing with the run speed pot. That triple charm is crazy. We actually only charmed one mob the entire time, basically. We never had a double charm, I don't think. We messed around in Ocean of Tears on testing with charming a Spectre when we first got there, but it was a huge pain because Spectres proc that Spectre stun, and it's huge aggro, but they don't have a ton of health. So it's actually a big drain on mana to keep a Spec charmed. Hey CS Warren, what's up, dude? Good morning. Soleil was definitely probably one of the hardest spots. Like the end of Soleil into the middle of Sol B was probably the hardest part of the run for us, because Soleil is a little bit tricky. The gnomes have some really densely packed zones, or camps, and that's also when we were having people crash. Like one of our mages crashed 3 times for a grand total of like 6 or 7 hours out of the queue. And then, of course, our necromancer crashed. So we were always trying to do those tougher camps with like less than optimal setup. And our pooler for the group was a mage, so I didn't have a lot of I didn't have a big toolkit to pull with. Hey, Athel Noir, thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate it, man. Oh, you know what? I need to get music going. But yeah, that Soleil 66% EXP bonus is real. Yeah. Did they do that on like an alt/box level up team, or was that their server launch static, Liak? Yeah, right. Nice. Yeah, some people recommended we change it just because people had accumulated so many points already. I forgot to set up the heart rate monitor this morning, but in the future I'm gonna put the heart rate monitor on. It's gonna be a regular thing, and I'm gonna add like a get fit option, and during a med break, if someone hits it on the next med break, I'll go do like 10 push-ups or something, and you get to see my heart rate spike. So fun. So for the folks who are just starting to tune in here, we've got some big upgrades over the last few sessions, or over the last night and this morning. Bronze helmet first, most obvious, right? Dropped off a goblin. Hey, Oren, thanks for the follow. Bracers of Arolacy. Camped that in Ocean of Tears. Only took me about 35 minutes, 3 spawns of that gnome. And then we got Ornate Chain. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 slots of Ornate Chain. On a slot by slot basis, it is 1 AC better and 1/2 pound lighter than Bandit Armor. Trivial is a little bit higher, so it's good for getting my smithing up towards Fine Plate. Basically what we do is we take like these fine steel swords that we're getting here. We break them down with a small brick into a small high quality brick. And then when we have 3 of those, we can make a large brick. A large brick plus a file makes high quality rings. And then the rest of the combine is basically free. It's like 1 plat for the pattern. And like 5 gold for a silver bar. You could also buy these large bricks, but they're 52 plat a pop from a vendor. I didn't have any Sea Fury scares because the Sea Furies were super camped. At one point, Gornet spawned up near me, and I just OOC'd that he was up, and someone ran up right away and killed him. Honestly, it was scarier swimming over there because like I knew the sharks were in the region. I keep disarming this guy. I need to make sure I remember to pick up the swords. Yeah, drops in perma. Like my whole run, drops in perma. Hydrate, yeah. I should add a hydrate button. I'll have to add the hydrate button when I get like when I start using a webcam. I just worry that having the camera will be like exhausting. I'm an introvert by nature, you know what I mean? So I feel like it's gonna burn me out on streaming if I am constantly on camera as well. High Keep lore, local lore. Okay, so we've done High Keep a few times. I want to always try to find a little something new so that our regular viewers don't always hear the same lore. But we'll jump in with something. So I'm not sure if any of you guys are familiar with the character Drizel Pocket Dip. He is a halfling. He is part of Verona Vi's band of adventurers. He's the high elf that you see, or sorry, the halfling rogue that you see in the comic, if you read the EQ comic book. And he's also in some of like the cover art. That's it's actually a mix-up mod wolf. I need to fix that. Local lore should be cheaper. Their prices are reversed. So Drizel Pocket Dip was here making some deals for, what was he making deals for? He was trading in Black Bro Stout, which is like, you know, banned on this side of Antonica. He got framed by the High Pass guards, who actually secretly smuggle it and allowed the transport of Black Bro Stout. But Carson McCabe wanted to capture him for some other reasons. So Drizel Pocket Dip was imprisoned. Falsely, I suppose. Yeah, I don't think he was actually doing it. It was falsely imprisoned. And then, in order to break him out to continue their adventures, they had to have Verona Vi come, and they had like a whole court hearing where they like lawyer quested Drizel out of prison, and Verona Vi embarrassed Carson McCabe in front of High Keep and all the High Keep denizens. I'll read a little bit of this directly. It's quite long. Yeah, actually it's super long, but here, I'll link it in chat. Carson moved up to the witness area and stood quietly. The judge nodded at him and said, "You know that you must speak the truth here and nothing else, right?" Carson frowned up at the judge, but only nodded his compliance. Judge Wiggins smiled blearily and ducked down under his desk for a moment. Carson's frown made an upside-down V in the skin over his nose. Verona Weiss stepped in front of Carson, distracting him. "Carson McCabe, do you recall the occasion on which you first saw the defendant?" Carson nodded. "Yes, milady, the defendant was brought before me by guards Heptel and Nonnet, along with the contraband stout. They brought him before me and showed me the evidence, at which time I sent him to be locked up in a cell." "And did he make no protest?" "Well, certainly, Verona. What criminal doesn't protest his own innocence?" McCabe chuckled at the observation. "Naturally, he said he was innocent, but the evidence was right there in front of us. He'd been caught red-handed, as it were." "What did he say in his own defense, my lord?" "Why, I don't quite recall." McCabe floundered for a moment. "I believe it was merely a protestation of innocence, no real details." "Isn't it true that you didn't stop to listen to his story at all?" Verona smiled sweetly at Carson McCabe. "That you had him sent to the dungeon without hearing his story?" McCabe sputtered, his face growing red. "Why, I don't know how you feel you can stand there and accuse me of such injustice, Verona. You know me better than that." "And yet, Driesel Pocketdip, an acknowledged member of the Deep Pockets Guild, was sent to the dungeons, and you're unable to recount for this defendant's explanation. Is that a fair assessment?" "Well, yes, but after all, what more would I need beyond seeing the evidence? I mean, he is a rogue, after all. Why should I lend credence to his tale?" The judge hiccuped loudly and disappeared under his bench, this time for almost 3 minutes. Verona paced in front of Carson, while she waited for the judge to sit up straight again. She looked at him and noted with some satisfaction that his nose was beginning to look very red. So, if you guys haven't caught what's going on here, basically Verona and the boys got the judge in this case super drunk to ensure that he would rule on their side and ultimately free Driesel Pocketdip, regardless of what evidence was laid against him. It seriously goes on for like 20 more minutes of reading time, so I'm not going to read the whole thing. Honestly, I haven't done a pickup group or like a pug in so long. I think the last time I did a pickup group was in 2017. I did one pickup group while I was leveling my second character. And before that I did a pickup group in 2011. 2012 in Solasec B while camping a Freedy. And those are like the last two pickup groups I believe I've done. But usually, if you're in a pickup group and you want to move fast and you're pretty experienced, just take charge. Say, hey, like, this is the plan. In fact, I would form the group. I wouldn't even want to join a group per se. Form the group, say this is what we're going to do. Just follow me and take charge. It helps I usually play a monk, so I pull, which means I control the pace of the camp, so to speak. But yeah, pugs are definitively going to be slower. Like, even our pre-made was slower, because we practiced 1 through 50 several times to prepare for the launch. And every time we practiced, we would improve our time a little bit. In fact, our first time was quite bad. when you haven't done Classic in a few years, you know, you gotta kick the rust off, so to speak. And there's like stupid little nuances that you don't think about, like when you're in Nectulus Forest, right? Everyone avoids the basilisks, the Kodiaks, and the black mambas because of poison, stun, and just, you know, the Kodiaks are too strong. So at first, everyone avoids those mobs. After a little bit, after like 30 minutes, there's a huge number of all those mobs because anything that's not them is killed. And then whenever a spawn cycle lands on the black mamba spawn, it stays up. No one touches it. Yeah, Orin, for the most part. Like, usually every static group, we have at least one person who's kind of new to the group, but we practice with them a lot before launch, you know what I mean? So everybody's a known quantity by then. This guy like flop bigger or something? He said have bigger and say. Oh wow. Yeah, I enjoy meeting new people in EQ as well. Usually I'm like an officer or a guild leader in a big guild, so I meet a lot of new people that way, and I try, people who have been in Faceless could probably vouch for this, I try to talk to every single new member, at least a little bit. I'm very team-oriented, so I want people to feel like they're valued. But it's cool because I've got some friends that I've played with for so many years now, and it's like having a reunion with the boys every time a server comes out, and we do a group together, and it's just like old times, just like it was when I was a teenager. We've been doing it for that long. Of course, it's not so long ago that I was a teenager, I suppose, so. I think EQ is really at its best when you play casually. I think like casual gameplay is the spirit of EQ. Though to be fair, I think some people hear casual and they think play less, but I think oftentimes casual play is like more playtime than hardcore play. And that's been my experience. When I play casually, I play a lot. It's just the way I play is different. Like when I play casually, I'm like, every couple levels, I'm like looking at quests I can do. I'm trying all sorts of different camps just for fun. And I'm farming items as I level up. But when I'm playing hardcore, it's only about the end goal as quickly and efficiently as possible, and all other things are secondary or simply non-factors. But it still translates into quite a lot of playtime. Right, yeah, wait till you guys do mitigation of the mighty mobs. Sean, you should have seen back when they first added mitigation of the mighty. So it was just like a flat % increase to all the relevant raid mobs. When they applied that increase, the same % that they applied to Nagafen and Vox to the Plane of Sky mobs, it made them like very close to impossible to kill. The Bixie god in Plane of Sky hit as hard as Ralos Zek the Warlord from Planes of Power. And this is level 50 content. Yeah, 2 or 3 guilds killed it. I only know one guild that continued to farm it on a schedule after that for the month that it was like that. Then they nerfed it down to be a little bit more reasonable. Oh, Keebs, you're setting me up to get some flack here. I don't want to take undue credit, but I do feel like I may have played a role in the creation of Mitigation of the Mighty. I may have influenced that decision to some small extent. You know, you can never know. Like, the devs may have been planning to do something like that for a long time, but I think our play style was a big factor in it, and I think I was messaging the devs at that time, suggesting it. Oh, I'm just a long-time player. Yeah, I'm just a huge fan, not a developer at all. Have you ever, Keebs, you ever watched that video I have of pre-mitigation of the Mighty Lady Vox and how dumb it is? Like, you just roll in there with your raid and 20 seconds later she falls over. You don't have to like dodge AEs or anything because she dies so quickly. Yeah, Sever, that was the old Fippy days. That was terrible. See, back then we knew that there was kind of a problem, but the Shadow Knights were such a big issue that the focus was on Shadow Knights, not on the content itself. We probably should have done something like Mitigation of the Mighty all the way back then. But that was also still the Sony Online Entertainment days, and in my experience, for whatever reason, once Holly was a big factor, they were way more open to making kind of out-of-the-box changes. Like, do you remember how long Harm Touch ran rampant on those servers and how vociferously people complained about it and nothing was done? By the time they fixed it, I think the servers were already in Velia, so like it just didn't matter anymore. So that's 6 months. 6 months it went unaddressed. On Vulak, the server first Nagafin was Damdor and Copperfist and Magical. It was Monk, Enchanter, Mage, Cleric. One group, but 3 dudes boxing. Yeah, maybe that's what it was, Keebs. Like, they just didn't view TLPs with like the same respect that other servers had, so their issues were secondary, like a distant secondary. I really think it was Holly that drove the shift to prioritize TLPs a lot more. Once Holly was there, we started seeing TLPs annually. We saw them making changes. Like, that was the first time I saw people cry about something on the forums and they backpedaled and changed it. Which, that's a whole other can of worms, right? It might not be good to do that sort of thing, because it sets a precedent that if we cry loud enough, we'll get what we want. Yeah, I wish we still had access to all those, or like the Fippy forums. That was some good reading. Yeah, eventually they're fixed. Almost every old issue that we had across the TLPs is now fixed. The only fix I ever remember them moving quickly on in those old school TLPs were plat dupe issues. Like, I think the month after it was widely discovered, the alchemy plat dupe, no, it's not really a dupe, but the infinite plat exploit, I think that was fixed within 1 month, within one patch cycle. And that was one of the few times that they actually suspended everybody. If you remember, we also had that Sony hack right in the middle. We had like a couple months where we couldn't even play. Like, there was no Everquest for a few months. Right, yeah, TLP just like Everquest, caught on better than expected. How fitting. It's hard to say. I used to have a guildmate who was an Everquest developer at the time that he was in the guild. And what he told me was that the TLP servers make about the same amount of money as live servers. Not on a server by server basis, but like the current TLPs which existed then were generating as much revenue as all live servers which existed then. It's gonna be annoying when she summons me. We're gonna have to use lay on hands. Whew, it was close. And the new servers are much more monetized than the old servers used to be too. With the shop, you know, has more items. They have those crates that TLP players go crazy over. And then don't forget those bags. Everyone buys those bags before server launch, the 40 slot bags. Someone did the math, and like on that alone, they're making huge amounts of money, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Right, yeah, exactly. Like almost every single player buys those bags. Yeah, it's not, I wasn't Purple Club at least. Oh geez, this guy's helped me out again. He's farming guards, but when he sees me, he'll like beat the guard up and then flop. It's like, I don't want to be rude, you know what I mean? I don't want to... Like, your instinct when something like that happens is to say, hey man, thanks, that's really great, it's awesome of you. How do I explain that I'm doing like a really stupid EverQuest challenge? I think the bags are like $40 or $30 a piece. So whenever someone helps me like once, I'm usually like, unless it's a buff, because they're always confused. I usually just like, all right, you know. Sometimes people just run by and heal you, or they'll run by and hit something that's below 50%, and they keep on with their thing. I think I've only had 2 times where someone was kind of like hanging around doing their own thing, and they kept coming back to check on me, where I had to be like, hey, sorry. Okay, 31 for 240 slots. That's really not bad. Right, yeah, I think he's done it on 2 guards so far. So now we'll see, you know, Holly obviously left for Warcraft. Or Blizzard, I guess. To be more exact, she left for Blizzard. I suspect that that might have been an opportunity which existed because of the success she was able to produce with Everquest. Now, regardless of what anyone else thinks, I think it's hard to argue that she didn't have a huge success, at least financially, with EQ. Just the TLP servers alone, right? Like, we had 3 to 5 year gaps between progression servers until Holly came, and then we had progression servers every year, or more often than every year, and almost every one of them was immensely successful, including probably the most successful Everquest server of all time, which was Finnegal, all under her leadership. So I know some people have like a bad opinion of her, but if you're the business, those guys probably loved Holly. And that probably got her, you know, the opportunity to go to what is unquestionably a more successful company, even if, you know, we like this game better. So it'll be interesting now to see with Jen at the helm what she's going to do with it. You know what I mean? Is she going to go in the same direction, or does she have her own philosophy that she's going to use to guide the direction of the game? Does Jen even like progression servers? Is that going to be a focus of hers, or is she going to make a push for live content and we'll see progression servers become more rare again? I don't know. There's a lot of questions. I'd be surprised if progression servers became much more rare because they are so profitable and so successful. Oof, rip Maze. Sounds like you got shoeboxed. You pressed the same button at the same time on both computers? Right, I'm not saying that maybe she's like solely responsible for the success, but she's definitely able to take credit for the success, right? What do I think of Pantheon Rise of the Fallen? Man, I really hope Pantheon comes out. I don't know if it will, but 100% of me wishes them success. I really like the Pantheon team. I've had the opportunity to, like, you know, have conversations with those guys, and I really agree with their design philosophies for the most part. And yeah, they're really cool dudes. I love what I see on the streams. I support them a lot, and I have invested is probably not the right word. I have pledged a significant sum of money to be in one of the higher pledge tiers. Oof, that's rough, Maze. Hey, Hito, what's going on, dude? I mean, when you watch the streams, like, you see the full gameplay there, you know what I mean? Like, we've seen streams of dungeons, we've seen outdoor zones, we've seen groups form and people fight mobs and loot. Everything that you would do in an EQ gaming session, pretty much, we have observed in one of the Pantheon streams. I think we've seen vendors being used. So the game exists, right? It's just a question of polish and content, so far as I can tell. And when it's like that, it makes me, like, part of me wants to say, how could they not release it? You know what I mean? The game is there. How could they not release it? Even if you have to go something crazy and do like an early release and they're like, hey, we're releasing it, there's only gonna be 5 zones, have fun, we're working on the rest, we'll get it when we're done. Like, it would just be such a shame if what we have observed as an obviously playable MMORPG never comes out. Hey Som, we are getting that good old EXP. We are farming a bard and some guards. And the guards are dropping these fine steel swords, which we are using to smith into some ore that we're using to push us closer to fine plate. Nice, got the wizard to level 5. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. So you're probably starting to get some of those spells, starting to feel like a real wizard now. I don't think there's a place where I can actually do the smithing in high pass or high keep. That's the problem. Maybe in high pass there is. Yeah, I think so from when I talked to the team and even when I talked to Brad, it seemed like the team was super cognizant of the failings of Vanguard, and almost more than anything, they sought to avoid repeating that mistake. And I think that's part of why they're taking this very slowly. And they always talk about like doing multiple iterations on zones and stuff like that. They seem very focused on making sure that each zone is polished, it performs well, there's not huge issues. I want to say we've seen nine separate zones in streams. In one of their recent patches said that they started chopping zones into smaller zones. So I imagine they had a situation where, like, if you could imagine maybe like the Karanas and EQ was all one giant zone, and then you chop it into 4. Okay, you got west, east, north, and south. Or just like the kind of Guck or Sol A effect, you've got lower and upper, Sol A, Sol B. So the 9 zones that we've seen them in could now be 18 zones, who knows? Hey Paul, that is the big bronze helmet. We gotta do it, Bobby. We need these fine steel swords so that we can continue to make ornate chain armor. This is the way. Also, goblins are camped. The goblins in Soleil do sometimes drop ore, but this is like every single guard here drops a fine steel sword. Every sword can be smithed into ore. So this is like 100% guaranteed, There's so many types of ore they can drop that are not the type of ore I need. Honestly, one of the best places to go farm would be the Gorge of King's Orb. They can drop all kinds of ore, including like the final ore that I'm crafting, all from those guys. I think they can even drop like silver bars. They can drop all sorts of crap there, but it's kind of rare, and the Muddites are pretty chunky. Dude, I don't care if they put Pantheon on a Game Boy, I just want them to put it somewhere where I can play it. No, all fine steel weapons do work, but some mobs straight up drop the ore themselves. Like he's saying in Soleil, the goblins will actually drop ore. But in here, every single high keep guard is 100% guaranteed to drop a fine steel sword. So every kill, I'm getting a piece of ore. So right now we've got 9 swords, which turns into 3 pieces of armor, or 3 armor craft attempts, which is pretty good, because otherwise it's 50 plat per attempt, 54 plat per attempt. Well, I'm super high faction with the high pass guards, so I'll just take my hits, and later on I'll fix the faction a little bit. I was pretty close to ally when I came in here, which means I could lose 1,000 faction points and still not be KOS. Whenever the goblin group moves out, I'll go do goblins in the basement. It's a little bit better EXP, which is my prime focus. And I'll get most of this faction back. Luckily, the other factions are only like -1 per, so it's not a big deal. Yeah, I'm still amiable with these guys. You can go to -500 and still be dubious. This guy's on a really fast respawn timer. I think it's like 5 or 6 minutes. Yeah, I'll just go kill orcs and gnolls outside too. They'll be really easy. I have the whole next week off, so I'll be doing a lot more early morning streaming. Like 8 a.m. Eastern to noon-ish, or on some days like today I'll probably only go till 11. I was keeping the bodies on just because it's like, a little bit more visual stimuli. But now that I'm disarming these guards and occasionally forcing them to drop their fine steel, I don't want to miss any of my swords. Cool little factoid. Whenever you drop a sword, it always points north. So technically, even on P99, you never have to worry about sense heading. The fastest class to solo to 50, probably a Necromancer. Mr. Jones, it's impossible for me to do soul row armor because I can't enchant platinum bars. So I would have to trade with the player, breaking my own rule set in order to get the bars I need to complete the armor set. If you stick to undead, Necromancer can charm for the majority of the level spread anyway. Do like Unrest to the Orgok. Oh, I didn't know that record, that clouds always go west. Hey, you know what's interesting? These fire pots are the same fire pots that are in Soul B in Nagafin's room. They've even got the Nagafin head emblazoned on them. I'm sure this is just an asset reuse situation, but since they're in the world, we've got to come up with a lore reason why they're there. Does this imply that Carson McCabe is so corrupt and money hungry that he's willing to trade with the goblins and kobolds of Lava Storm for a profit? Or is he simply doing this to fund the enemies of the Dark Elves right on their doorstep, since the Dark Elves did attack High Keep? Seems strange given that Dark Elves are also in High Keep, so perhaps not that. Watch, one of these guards is going to spawn right here. That's what I'm talking about, disarmed him. Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't really be solo if I made the enchanter and did it still. You know, not like the same character. I did think about doing that. You know what? If a GM does a GM event and will give me a enchanted platinum bar, I'll take it. It has to be a current GM though. I need a high-res version of this little symbol right here. What is this? Is it like a dragon coiled in on itself? That's kind of what it looks like. Enhance. There's a mob in this zone that you can exploit called Fen Kendrick, I think. He spawns all the way up on the roof. You can use a text trigger to make him spawn. He drops gems and ringmail armor. He's level 1, but he has like 500 HP. You used to be able to instantly spawn him, but Bobby Bick got it nerfed. Sometimes I beat this bard by like 20% easily, and other times, like right now, she just crushes me. Always the same level mob. Never changes. Look, what is she doing right now, dude? How could there be this much variance? You guys saw this last time too, right? Like, last time she wasn't even this close. She made me use Lay on Hands. Dude, what is this? I'm just gonna reset this. Like, there's no point in fighting her. Dude, that RNG. Sure, why not? Fix some of my faction. Yeah, back-to-back loams, pretty crazy. I'm not sure. Like, if we went for fun, it'd probably be like some casters. If we wanted to do something like crazy hard, I don't know, we'd have to do. I feel like if you're gonna do duo, there's got to be at least a little synergy. Otherwise, like, why bother? So maybe like Druid Necro, or Druid plus any melee class, Shaman plus any melee class. Double Wizard would be kind of fun. Yeah, see, like Ranger Rogue, I guess it would be doable, but it would be almost like pointless until you got Spirit of Wolf, and then you could like Flame Lick, kite mobs while the Ranger backstabs. Every fight while the Rogue backstabs. Every fight for that Rogue would be like when you have to kite Avatar of War in circles for an hour. So that person would go insane. Dumbest combo, Bard. No twisting allowed. Level 5, I would leave Tox. I would head to Kanos. I would do like Kanos Hills right out front of Blackbro would be a good spot. And you could buy your spells in South Kanos whenever you need to get more spells. Hey, Delta. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm a pro, but you can feel free to ask. I think I remember seeing you. Down there by the goblins. Were you using a Dark Elf illusion? 3 days ago when you ran through Freeport, did you happen to have Invis on? And you were KOS and didn't know it? Did you kill any slaves in Crushbone? Dude, this is the same mob that took me to about 50% while only taking 3% damage. Not even like the same mob on a different spawn. It is literally the same instance of the same NPC. Yeah, there's 2 different guard factions. I don't think Ambassador Divin even has KOS faction or any faction hits for Freeport. Certainly nothing in Unrest does, and nothing in Mistmore does. Did you hit somebody with Bard Song who was killing Lucan? Yeah, you could type faction, it'll bring up a window where you could search. All I can think is that you accidentally assisted on a Lucan kill, running by with some songs. That's the only thing that could produce such a dramatic change so quickly. Yeah, that's the only thing that could do it. Yeah, I guess so. Or just accept that they hate you now and live life. Being unable to see heal mobs would be like a true nerf. Definitely not as minor as this 20%er that we saw for the DPS. It's maybe more fitting because like it doesn't really nerf Enchanter so much as it nerfs a specific combo of classes. Enchanter by itself is just as good. Cleric by itself is just as good. Only when the two are used in conjunction for this singular purpose is it a nerf. Now granted, everyone abuses that system. Not really abuses it, but everyone uses it because it's so good, so I'm sure everyone will still cry, but... The next big thing is like the Zem change in 3 months. I like that you see little stars over NPCs' heads when they're stunned now. We get like 10% EXP per hour. Can you imagine how slow 49 is gonna be? Not, I would say I'm like 20 skill ups away, maybe. Let's see. We're at 113 now. Fine plate. The stuff that we need to make, I think, is like Triv 160. So maybe 7 skill ups. We'll start trying. Well, the Greaves are 180. The arms are 175, so we're still a ways off. When I go to like the blacksmithing area, and normally you can type in like recipes, fine plate armor doesn't actually appear for me. I don't know if that's just because I'm too far away for it to appear skill-wise, or if it like there's something I need to do to unlock fine plate. I've never really taken smithing any serious distance. Nah, I haven't even tried any fine plate yet. Normally you would start with the mask, but I don't need the mask. Maybe I should try the mask just for skill up purposes. Oh, maybe that's how it goes. I don't know. Yeah, I think Ranger would be super doable. The early levels would be tough because there's not like super good Ranger weapons until maybe like PGT. But once you get Spirit of Wolf, man, you're like super online. Dude, Maze, you know they nerfed Pally nukes? Well, the first Pally nuke only does 12 damage. 12. Fine plate visor, which I think is the earliest piece you can make, is 163 triv. But it's okay, because I need to farm up a bunch of leather padding stuff in the meantime anyway.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah, right? Like, it's more mana efficient now from a mana to damage perspective. What's the deal with these bones? But just 12 damage is not worth casting, you know what I mean? The whole time I'm casting the spell, I'm not swinging. I don't know, it's just a pain. So the easiest fine plate armor slot that we actually hope to make is the Bracer, which is 168 trivial. We need to make medium quality folded metal sheets, which can be done with a block of medium quality ore. I think per attempt, fine plate is actually cheaper than ornate chain. We just happen to be able to do it with fine steel swords, so it's a little bit better for us. Yeah, I dumped all my plat again this morning into smithing. Got a whopping 5 skill ups. Go throw some of this crap in the bank. Yeah, so I don't encumber myself. I tend to, like, if I fill up all my inventory slots, I tend to hit encumbrance, so I just try to carry 2 bags. Yep, Tian Coca, we're not giving up. Level 25, almost 26. We're stacked in gear, though. Honestly, our gear is way better than I would have thought it would be. Look at this. 5 stamina on the ear slot. Well, you've been enlightened, Bobby Vick. You get this by turning in the paw scrolls. It might be rare, I wouldn't even know. I literally got it on my very first turn-in. Dude, it probably is the server first Karanis tier. He cried when he looked down on his Paladin and saw how long it was going to take me to hit 50. He shed this single tear. We braved Sea Fury Island, which had 0 Sea Furies up so far as I could see. This is still my favorite piece of gear. I feel like that mob is like super rare. I've never even really seen this for sale. Nah, dude, this is an imp called Yinf the Infernal. And it turns out he is one of those kind of mobs that casts invisibility on himself and just jumps you randomly. Yeah, same zone. Wonder if chopping is up. Dude, I'm telling you, man. Don't even get me started on the 5 strength shoulders, 3 strength necklace. We got our mask from Lord Gongo a couple days ago. We're rocking out. There is a full group farming 1 guard. Yeah, I take all the I take off all the negative chaw gear when I'm selling and buying stuff for blacksmithing, and then I put it all back on for the strength when I do the smithing now. Yeah, I was thinking about getting the Labyrinth Talisman, but I like the strength better. Stamina, like, really not that good for me, to be honest. Look, my max health is 980. Goes to 970. I get 2 HP per stamina. I think the next necklace I'll get would be like a ruined lava pendant. Hey Grizzly, I'm killing guards because goblins are camped, so this is like my only EXP option in the zone. But also the guards have a 100% chance of dropping a fine steel sword, which I can break down for ore that helps me skill up my smithing. It's all part of the path to fine plate. Every 3 guard kills is 1 ornate chainmail attempt. And since they drop a little loose change too, the change probably pays for the other parts of the combine. So it's I probably break out to every 3 guards as like a 100% free combination attempt. Right? Dude, you know what I really would love? One of those quaffs that lets you have like 3 hours of infinite trade skill attempts without losing your items. I'd be rocking fine steel or fine plate right now. Yeah, there's a maximum number of combines. I think I could make fine plate greaves within 48 attempts right now. For people who missed it earlier, we got this baby. Divine Aura. Yeah, Wrecker, you could get 1 potion for buying one of those 40 slot bags. Yeah, this is Air Dune. No, you can't buy them any other way. Not even in the cash shop. The only way to get them is as part of that bag package. No, I can't pick up any Rots, Coca. Even if you were to like trade an item to a mob and then I killed it, if I knew that item was not default for that mob to drop, wasn't like on its normal loot table, I wouldn't loot it. That's for all the people who are trying to give me enchanted platinum bars. Right, I just get like a huge stack of fine steel swords. Alright, Carson McCabe lore. I'll get you in just a sec on that lore. I'm grabbing a drink and stuff here in a moment. All right, so Carson McCabe is, he is the ruler of High Keep. He is the second ruler of High Keep after his father, Sean McCabe. Let's see if Mistress Anna is up. Seems like she's not up. We'll go check just in case I missed the target here. But basically, Carson McCabe rules High Keep, and his whole power is predicated on the fact that High Keep represents, or rather High Pass, represents the only safe route to pass trade goods between Kanos and Freeport across Antonica. So he provides safety to the traders, and there is a tax involved. And then also he serves as like a pit stop. There's gambling and all sorts of other incentives for people. This is his mistress. He keeps her here right next to his bedroom, Mistress Anna, sometimes known as the High Pass Hussy. If you go to High Pass and you find like a guard, the no-name guards, and you ask them about Mistress Anna, they'll call her the High Pass Hussy. She really doesn't like his wife, who is Lady McCabe. His wife is actually a necromancer erudite, and it seems like the wife and he are not on good terms. But check this out. Who is Lady McCabe? Mr. Santa says, never mention that name in front of me. Carson McCabe would be mine if it were not for that witch. She's not even from Antonica. She's an erudite. No doubt Carson must have gotten sloshed one night and wed her by mistake. Carson assures me that he shall be rid of her as soon as his clerks can make the proper documentation, or the proper documents of separation. So there's some bad blood there, as you can see. We'll see if the good old lady is up. Carson is not up. She might kill me as a necromancer, so I'm actually a little worried about this. Alright, so just a maid. She's not up. But there's a whole quest line you can do between Mr. Santa and the wife and everything. It's kind of broken. It's never been finished, I don't think, for some kind of staff. Now, eventually it comes to Carson's attention that he is sitting on a mountain of strange black ore, which can be used to craft valuable arms and armament. We see this in the goblins, right? This area is really closely connected to Runny Eye, and if you remember, there's blackened iron armor, and later with the Picklaw goblins, Picklaw being the goblins who are actually literally under high keep, there is blackened alloy armor. That's the same black ore that they're using. So eventually he'll discover that in the EQ timeline and make good use of it. For profits, ostensibly. We don't really see what he does with it. But more importantly, the Dark Elves use the goblins underneath High Keep as kind of informants, as a network of spies. They eventually find out about this black ore, and upon examining the black ore, they discovered that this ore could be used with some modifications to open a portal to the planes, specifically to the Plane of Hate. That's right, the black ore that sits under High Keep in great quantity is the Fulligan Soulstone of Inneruk. That's one of the major reasons that the armies of Neriak marched on High Keep and led to the Battle of Bloody Kithakor, where Inneruk actually came down and, killed the defenders, creating the nightmare that we see every night in Kithakor Forest. Seems like now Carson is on somewhat better terms with the Dark Elves, as he's got a few hidden around his chambers here. And they have gone to some lengths to kidnap the young Princess Lenya. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed this episode of Specific Everquest Lore. Also, apparently has some deals with the goblins or kobolds or fire giants of Solsec B, because these fire pots in High Keep have the Nagafin symbol emblazoned on them. I think the only other location where we see these fire pots are in the fire giant rooms / literally Nagafin's room. Yeah, I think there should / could be a zone connection between High Keep and Runny Eye. I think that'd be good. No, there's no way that developers would reuse assets. Come on. Not in my EverQuest. Dude, what was that round? Just hit me for 100 damage, no big deal. 100 damage round. Well, on the plus side, root only lasted as long as summon, so it was actually not useful at all. Try this again. She resisted. It's not looking good, boys. Ooh, that interrupted. I started casting the spell too soon after I stopped walking. We just have to leave. I'm not sure what the fire pots look like in TD. I don't remember either. I think if we ever saw Pantheon release, the earliest we would see it release is 2025. Anything sooner than that is pipe dream. And some people will think I'm crazy even for thinking that. Leafy Greens, I think she used to be a higher level, and she got reduced to 25, and they just never took the summon ability. Or so Bobby told me last night when I complained about it. I think people have the funding situation all wrong. I don't think that there's like a big... I think that most, if not all of the developers have jobs which they work like 9 to 5 like normal people, and then when they get home, they work on the game. thought that guy was about to steal my guard. Arisonius, the game is not in alpha right now, so you would see no change personally right now, except that you would have $300 less. Well, people who have paid to a tier to get pre-alpha access, I suspect have played in pre-alpha since they are announcing pre-alpha 5. Here's what I would guess, right, as an outsider. If you are a person who has played the video game, at this point, you have probably signed a non-disclosure agreement. We can all safely assume that. If the game was trash that you played, you would have very little issue breaking that non-disclosure agreement and telling people, hey man, I played it, game's garbage. If the game was pretty good and you're like, hey, in the future, I'd actually like to play this game when it comes out, you might be less incentivized to break the NDA because you don't want action taken against your account that you presumably paid $1,000+ to have. Given that we have not seen anyone come out and say, hey, I played, game is garbage, we can assume, perhaps not safely assume, but we can hypothesize that the game that people have played, those individuals who are under non-disclosure agreements, might be good. We can hazard a guess. That's just me, though. Could be that. Hey, morning Noob Cake. How's it going, dude? No queue right now if you want to get on and play your bard. Well, one of the mods in this channel, actually, Nick, was just a random player who signed up for their stream program and was selected. So he actually got to stream like a couple hours of Pantheon gameplay. And he's openly talked about it and said that, you know, hey, I can talk about anything that was on stream. And they limited him to one full zone, They didn't give them any specifications like, okay, you must be only in this area of the zone, or you must only do this kind of thing. So they played just a true gameplay session within one particular dungeon. And it's all on video on YouTube and everything. You guys could be right on that. But we've seen the gameplay, you know what I mean? Everyone in this chat who's watched the stream or the videos, you know what the gameplay looks like. I don't think it's going to change much from the videos you've seen. There's just going to be more of it. Like, just watch one of the videos and say, does this look like fun gameplay? If yes, then maybe in the future you would enjoy playing it if it comes out. If no, stop watching. You're not going to like it. It's not going to change much. Yeah, that's for sure. You know, regardless, I hope there's a few MMOs kind of like in that weird development stage right now. I hope they all work out. Probably they won't. But hopefully, for the genre, we get some good games eventually. I hope I'm not still farming guards in High Keep in 2097. Dude, at this rate, right? Paul means lifetime accounts for EQ. I mean, if you have to think about it for 1 second, whether or not you can afford to pledge a certain amount, it is already an amount that is too much for you to pledge. You've got to be looking at a quantity of money which you are comfortable literally throwing away. because there's always a chance that you will have no return, no benefit at all. Yeah, right. I don't know, Arsonius, like, you gotta think about how many hours of enjoyment you would get out of that $15. So I've had this character for less than 30 days, and I'm about to hit 6 days of playtime. So for every dollar I spent, I've gotten 9.6 hours of enjoyment. I'll take that. Dang, that monk knew exactly the moment this guard was gonna spawn. He must have a really good timer. Hey, what's going on, Tamina? It's going really well. We are level 25, almost 26. Our gear is pretty sick. We are farming some high pass guards to help boost our smithing with that fine steel, and hopefully finish off this level today. Though maybe not entirely on stream. I'm glad to see you swinging back by to check us out. You know what? I can pull guard Ruan down solo, kill him while we wait. Yeah, I know, right? I basically found one that is on like the 6-minute timer, and I'm killing him alone. Him and the Bard NPC. So Dark Edge, I am only doing a, like, this is just a 1 through 50 solo self-found challenge with Permadeath. So this is all about making it as hard as possible, basically. Paul, I'm not sure. It's not time remaining, it's time that you have been premium. Okay, so this account has been subbed for 7 years, 362 days, I guess. Or maybe it's just how long the account has existed. Wow, 40 years. Never mind. I don't know. Oof, that sucks, Riker. You gotta just man mode it and go out there and crush it with your hands. Please die, guard. You stay. Man, I'm feeling real insecure about my entitled time now. I could never find my old account from 99. Like, I put in what I remember to be the username and it says the account doesn't exist. I don't know if there was a way to find it. And like, to recover those things, they want you to use your original credit card. But yo, I was like not even 10 years old. That was my mom's old credit card. We have no idea what that shit would be. Hey Joshagon, this is the Deepwater Harpoon. I don't know, Tian Coca, it sounds like it was created in 2004. We gotta take your old school card away. You're one of those new players. Yeah, the weapon is really sick. It's gonna carry us most of the way through this run, and the only thing we're gonna replace it with is a Ghoulbane eventually. I don't even know if I had a moment of pure clarity and I was able to log in, like I remembered my old account username and password perfectly, right? Could I even log in on the Daybreak Games website with that account anymore? Or would I have to do like some kind of account recovery before it was even available to log into? Yeah, mine has the same thing, Leok. All kinds of claim garbage. This person is eyeing me suspiciously. Should I duel this level 50, what is this, a ranger? With a Null Slayer pet? No, it's just a familiar. There's no queue when I logged in, Dark Edge. I don't think there is one now, even right this moment. What'd they get kicked out of Rampage for? Even last night at primetime, the queue was only like 50 minutes. It was crazy. So they did say that they increased the cap again, the pop cap on the server. Yeah, the queue was crazy. I want to go back to the first few kills of Lisa Goldtune, or Lislia Goldtune, when she was super easy. Man, my DPS got terrible. Like, I'm just missing and missing and missing. That's actually animation swap. Because I'm bandoliering in my shield. Oh, you know what? I guess you do swing it like an axe. Yeah, never mind. Is Hillary gonna drop the Bard GMs on me? Thank God she's finally running. Man, she's like harder every single time. Dude, it's like every single time we kill her, it's worse. Hey, Knots, thanks. This is just some lo-fi Zelda. Hopefully we don't go Purple Club here. But if that bar's any indication, we might do it next time. I'm gonna go check and see if the, you know what, I'll kill him first. After we kill him, while we're waiting on respawns, we'll go check the basement. Hey, Grunge Life, welcome back. What's going on, dude? Hey, Tinaran, thanks for the follow. Nice, level 10, dude. Congrats. You enjoying your time back with EQ? That's awesome. Very glad to hear that. You know what I should do one day? We should do a stream where I just set up 2 clients side by side. One is P99, one is Aerodune. We'll play the same race class combo and go to all the same zones and camps and do them at the same levels. And just see the difference of that content between the 2 servers. It doesn't have to be SSF or anything crazy, just something, you know, that could solo pretty well and wouldn't be ultra taxing to play 2 of. Alright, let's go see this basement stuff. This group's going hard. They got Osargon charmed. This is Aerodune and this is the high keep zone. Nine bronze helmets. This is why I don't think there's any other bronze that drops here, because I see 9 bronze helmets, so somebody's been selling bronze helmets from the goblins. I got my own bronze helmet, of course, and I haven't seen any other bronze drop. And there's nothing for sale. Too lazy to unequip all my negative charisma gear. Oh, really, Coca? So I can get any visible bronze slot from the goblins? Nice. Well, that'll be cool. I wonder if it's worth it. So bronze greaves are 1 AC more, but they weigh 9.4 pounds. It looks a lot cooler, but I mean, like, is 1 AC per slot worth almost doubling my weight? Probably not. I wish we could even just smith bronze. So weird that it's like, it feels like a default armor style and you can't smith it. Whoops, I forgot to loot this. I haven't been paying attention to my disarms. Hey, do you know if the... Oh, thanks for following, Coslin. Appreciate it, dude. Do you know if the ornate gold armor is in? I saw the recipe. I'm not sure if I can craft it. I don't want to waste money on gold bars I can't use. We're going to have to zone this, probably. Yeah, fuck it. These high levels who are permanently farming guards are slacking right now. Yeah, I was looking to make the enchanted stuff with like the plus charisma and everything, because it's even 1 AC better than this, so it's equivalent to bronze, but just as light as this current armor. Oh, it would also help bridge the gap between this and fine plate. I didn't even know field plate was a thing on this server. Or at least in Classic. So that's probably the highest end stuff, right? For smithing during Classic, and it's human only. Yeah, 198 Triv, 13 AC on the arms. Sea Temper. Ooh, I gotta get 135 brewing, and I have to farm Sea Fury Cyclopses to even be able to make it. That'll be tough. This is the Donkey Kong Country 2 soundtrack. I'm not killing Justin. He's up, you can get him. Well, actually, I don't know if he's up. Maybe some of the other high levels are killing him. Ooh, there's a pig zone. It's probably all goblin camps. Rip. My nemesis. There are 7 people in this zone, and all the guards are up. That's a very bad sign for us. What are they sitting down in like the warrior room? Ooh, I bet this guy's a rogue. He doesn't have a dagger. Dude, DKC, definitely one of the best games on the Super Nintendo. No questions. See how butthurt this group gets that I pulled one of their mobs? Raider's not on me. I think he's just running away. But unfortunately, it brought one of their guys all the way up here, so he might kill steal me. Yeah, dude, this place would be jam-packed. Every single one of the rooms would be a camp. Like, you do the warrior room, the raider room, the lookout room, and then the main room. It's the same way on High Keep, though. And, like, every room is a camp for guards, too. You'd have, like, 80 people in this zone. Goblins are much faster EXP, and this is why. They only have half the HP they actually have if you're good with the guards. I think you can get a key, Noob Cake. Man, they got a timer on this. They knew right when he spawned. Hey, Hizokiru, thanks for stopping by, man. Appreciate it. Have a good day, dude. Still trying to come up with the perfect emote for our 5th emote slot. We've got things for like anger, confusion, dying, and like oof, but we need something for like hype. Something for when good things happen. Grunge, later on you get more than 8 spell gems. Remember that you can load and save spell sets, so you can swap on the fly pretty quickly though. But yeah, with AA in the future, you can get more than 8. It's interesting that killing these goblins does not give you positive faction with high keep, only turning in the goblin ears. Like, they don't take you on faith that you killed them. You have to provide evidence of a kill. Pretty close to leveling up here. Ooh, this is our 20th stream. 20th episode of leveling this paladin. And we're gonna hit level 26. I think we average about 3 hours. We had some that are like 5 to 6. Lately, I've been streaming in like prime time, and I try to only do 3 hours. There's a lot of other EQ streamers that I like, but there's not a huge population of people who like watch EQ. So I don't want to like. I try not to stream at the same time as them. Like a very loving robot usually gets on pretty soon. Once he gets on, I'll probably dip out. Just want to like, you know, share the love, so to speak. During weekdays in the mornings and weeknights on prime time, I can get like 130, 140 viewers, which is pretty good. And we can have like a second person streaming at almost the same numbers. But Saturday mornings are tough. Oh no, he's doing EQ too? Rip. Why am I fighting this guy's chat? Look at this. I should have had the guards kill him moments ago. Oh yeah, it's good, yeah. So in order, my last one was 4 hours, 3 hours, 3 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5.5, 5, 6.5, 1 and 2, basically 2, 4, 4.5, 4, a half hour, 5, 3, 4, 2.5, 5, 4. So we're probably actually averaging like 4 hours. I know, dude, so close. This guy right here. Nah, not 5%. With my current mana, I don't even know if I could kill that guy. Because I have lay on hands. Yeah, so I guess we've produced 80 hours and counting of content on this character stream. Yeah, the orcs are like 20-ish. They're a little higher than the gnolls. The orcs are a better EXP camp than the gnolls are. But they're like pretty densely populated. You need a lull or some kind of pull technique, or you'll have to like split them up with the guards, training a few times. Oh, you could make it through, no problem. They're probably camped. When I was over there earlier, there was a camp, or there was a group camping them. Alright, let's see what EXP we get for soloing a mob 2 levels higher than us. We're currently at 95.106. .5% for 2 levels higher than us solo. I need to do at least 51% of the damage to the mob. So I could probably pull them when they're at like 55, to be honest, and I would be able to edge out that 50%, that last 5 or 6% while the guards are doing damage. But to be safe, I usually pull them right down to 50 or 49. It just has to work out so that I have done the majority of the damage, but overflow damage counts. So if they're at 1%, and Captain Bosek hits them for 90 damage, it counts 90, all 90 of that damage, even if they only have 1 HP left. So it can get a little wonky. if the guard hits really hard. Like, at first I was going to train them up to that wizard. There's like a level 60 wizard mob up there who would just kill him, but he nukes him for 1,000 damage. And he KS's me. Even if I pulled him there at like 10%, he still gets the kill. Right, yeah, DS doesn't count. You should do it, it's a lot of fun. So for those of you guys who are watching and are not already tracking, on the 4th of July, me, A Very Loving Robot, Keebs, and some other players are going to be doing a marathon stream. We're going to do 1 through 50 untwinked as a static group, just like you would when the server launched. We're going to, rush to 50 as fast as we can in one long gameplay session. So look forward to that. If you have time on the 4th, come by and check us out. You'll get to see us playing exactly as if, the server had launched and we were racing to max level. The only difference will be that we'll run into other groups. Normally we would be ahead of every group. We're not twinked, no, untwinked. Totally natural leveling style. Our group, I think, is full right now, but if we do other stuff in the future, we would be open, I'm sure, to having other people in the group. So if you ever wondered how people level up so quickly on server launch to get like those really fast level 50s, you'll be able to watch that and see how it's done. Not that it's anything complicated or super secretive, it's mostly just not sleeping. No, not all mages. I'm not 100% positive what our comp will be right now. It's going to be something along the lines of what you'd expect though, like Cleric Enchanter, some number of mages, Necromancer, maybe a monk, who knows. It's going to be very meta. No, definitely no bards. No, there's not a new server coming. We're just emulating the server launch kind of rush. It's really hard to stream the actual race to 50 on a server because it makes you a really big target, especially if you're in the lead. It makes you a huge target to get griefed and trained. Like, I don't even use a recognizable name when I'm leveling 1 through 50 for the first time. I don't think so. My Necro's name was Not Your Day. And oh, you're talking about the mage, Zaide. I actually changed my name when I was at 49.9. My name was different up to that point. And I had to use Zaide X because someone else had taken the name Zaide. Yeah, his name was originally The King. Yeah, I had a static. Alright, let's go do Blail for our final kill of this level. At a certain point, people figure out who's who anyway during the leveling rush. That's not good. Rip, someone killed Blail. Oh, you know what? I'm probably... Oh, hey, there's Carson. Good to meet you, Zaide. I hope you are enjoying your time in Highhold. We have the finest food and entertainment around. All I ask is that you do not spend your time on the top floor of Highkeep. Those are my personal living quarters. Other than that, spend and indulge. How nice of him. He's probably a sick charm pet. I think he hits for over 100 damage. Grunge, I think you're like, you're just a little bit behind the curve. You know what I mean? So there's fewer groups. Have you turned on /LFG or tried forming your own groups? Probably just go kill a goblin or something stupid. Don't want to get jumped by guard bicker. Let's kill Fulton. The fastest way to get a group is always going to be making your own group, though, you know, you have to go out on a limb a little bit there. Oh, jeez. so close. Are you 49 now, Maze? The damage cap comes off at level 20. There's like different thresholds of damage cap. There's one at 10, but the final cap comes off at 20. Where are you grinding at, Maze? Yeah, Wormslayer before 20 is like, oof, it's rough. You'll occasionally pass it, but you're not really getting the real ratio of the weapon until level 20. Oh, okay, the hull's good. Are you just duoing, Maze? Yeah, I was gonna say, you should be crushing it. No, my favorite class is pretty much Monk for every era. Unfortunately, it's like super popular now. Everybody plays a Monk. It's probably Monk then Necromancer. Ding, 26. We did it, boys. Another level in the books. It only took us 6 days and 4 minutes played. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now we're 1 level away from getting a new healing spell. We've been using light healing since level 12. Ooh, I'm indifferent in high keep now. It's crazy that doing that, we also just made 100 plat without selling a single sword. Yeah, I miss those old plat exploits. Alright folks, we had a good one. 3.5 hours in the books. We gained our level, and we had some smithing skill ups, so Next one, we'll try to get our smithing even higher. We'll break down all those swords and we'll shoot for part way to 27. I gotta cut this one a little early because I have to prepare for my EQ D&D session later tonight. But I had a great time. If you guys enjoy this content, please remember to follow so you can check me out more in the future. This next week, I'll be doing a lot of the early morning streams, so look for me around 8 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Eastern, going all the way till sometime in the early afternoon. Other than that, everybody have a nice night. Now let's raid Bobby Big. Hey, thanks for the follow, Aristes. And Laurel. Alright, last call to jump on the raid.
You know, like, why would I wear pants in my own home? I'll put on